Do you watch BBC drama Poldark Sunday night? If you do, you'll know that it's set in the 18th century and you'll be familiar with references to, well, the French Revolution, particularly now because the current series is fraught with chatter and the threat of the uprising across the Channel. Even sees Ross Poldark travel to France to rescue a friend held prisoner there. Well, it certainly helped rejuvenate an interest in this period of history.
Now, on the south coast, Portchester Castle was used to hold French prisoners of war, including 2,000 African Caribbean soldiers from St Lucia. A new exhibition tells their heroic and ultimately tragic tale. Our reporter Sean Killick reports from Portchester Castle.
It's an unexpected juxtaposition. Inside this castle, dating back to the period of William the Conqueror, a tribute to prisoners of war from the Caribbean who were housed here during the time of Napoleon. Just over 2 centuries ago, black soldiers who were fighting for France were captured by the British in St Lucia and St Vincent and, along with their wives and children, were transported to England and imprisoned at Portchester Castle. They were comparatively well fed and clothed and allowed a surprising amount of interaction with the locals.
There was a prison market, and I suppose that's quite difficult for us to sort of grasp, that we've got these prisoners of war and that the local community in Portchester village could come into the prison on a daily basis and purchase objects that were being made by the prisoners.
Now there's a new exhibition telling the story of this relatively unknown part of Portsmouth's history.
I didn't realise there were black prisoners at all, even in England. I didn't realise that the Caribbean got involved in our wars.
I'm surprised that we took prisoners and looked after them at all in that day and age, because I'm not sure the French would have done the same for us in the same circumstance.
Some middle-ranking French officers from Paris who were imprisoned here too wrote and staged plays in a theatre they built at the castle. It's now been recreated, and tomorrow there's a one-off performance of one of the original plays.
I have learned how, in the midst of all sorts of difficulties that these poor men must have endured, how they managed to keep a brave face and put on a play just to entertain themselves and make the time pass quickly. It's not one of the greats, it's not Molière, it's not Shakespeare, but it's not meant to be. It's meant to be a sort of knockabout farce, essentially.
Locals were originally invited in to watch, but the authorities got nervous of this early entente cordiale.
After just a few months of the theatre being a huge success, it's the Admiralty Board that says you may no longer perform for the local population, you can only perform for yourselves. So there is a wariness from the authorities, and I think that's partly why now, 200 years later, that story has largely been forgotten, because it was suppressed even at the time as something that was a little bit dangerous.
Sean Killick with that report, and just to let you know that new exhibition opens to the public on Thursday at Portchester Castle. Don't miss it.